Hello future engineers, subscribers, viewers, and students. There is another video in trigonometry. I hope that through this video, your knowledge in trigonometry will be enhanced as well as your skills. So here we go. One student in a surveying class measures an angle as 74.25 degrees while another student measures the same angle as 74 degrees 20 minutes. Find the difference between these measurements. Letter A in seconds, B to the nearest minute, and letter C to the nearest hundredth of a degree. So let's convert 74.25 degrees to degree minutes case. So 74.25 degrees is equal to 74 degrees plus 0.25 degree times 60 minutes per degree. So computing, that is equal to 74 degrees 15 minutes. Therefore, we can now get the difference between the measured angles in minutes first. So delta theta in minutes is 74 degrees 20 minus 74 degrees 15, and that is 5 minutes. Then delta theta in seconds is 300 because this 5 minutes difference in angular measurement is multiplied by 60 seconds per minute. So delta theta in seconds is 5 minutes times 60 seconds per minute. So that's why we have 300 minutes. Again, in degrees, that's 5 minutes. We proceed to the next, to the nearest hundredth of a degree. So this is to 2 decimal places. So this 5 minutes will be multiplied by 1 degree per 60 minutes. And that is 1/12 of a degree, and in decimal that's 0.08 degree. So that's it for that first problem. Let's proceed to the second. As a consequence of Earth's rotation, celestial objects such as the moon and the stars appear to move across the sky, rising in the east and setting in the west. As a result, if a telescope on Earth remains stationary while viewing a celestial object, the object will slowly move outside the viewing field of a telescope. So for this reason, a motor is often attached to telescopes so that the telescope rotates at the same rate as Earth. Determine how long it should take the motor to turn the telescope through an angle of 1 minute in a direction perpendicular to the Earth's axis. So let's convert this 1 minute angle into something which we can compute. So it should be probably in seconds per second, so that we can compute the time in seconds also. So theta is equal to 180 degrees per 12 hours. It rises, the sun, for example, rises in the east and setting in the west, so that's 180 degrees, and that corresponds to 12 hours. So for instance, 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. So that's 12 hours. Then we multiply this by 60 minutes per degree, so that's now in 60 minutes per hour. Then 1 hour 60 minutes, then minute to seconds times 1 minute 60 seconds, then multiplied by time in seconds, so that we can get that the angular value of 1 minute. So time in seconds. So this is 1 minute. Simplifying this, cancel. So we have 3 over 12, 60, 180 over 60 is 3 over 12. So that's 1/4 degree, sorry, 1/4 minute per second. So time in seconds. So 1 minute is equal to 1/4 1 minute every 4 seconds times time in seconds. So therefore, cross multiply, the time in seconds is 4 seconds. So it will take the object, the celestial object, to get outside of the viewing field of the telescope for a 1-minute angle in 4 seconds. Next, determine the measure of the angle in each point of the regular 5-pointed star. So this is the regular 5-pointed star. We will call the angular value as theta. There are 5 equal or identical values of theta. There are 5 thetas, and this is 2 theta. So let us show that the peripheral angle subtending this arc of a circle is equal to half the measure of the subtended arc. So this is the subtended arc, and the central angle is 2 theta, and let's prove or show that this peripheral angle is just equivalent to half of that central angle. So we begin with this triangle here, ABC. These are the angles to the center of the circumscribing circle, and we will, that's RRR. We have isosceles triangles here, so meaning these angles are equal. So if I call this alpha, that's also alpha there. If I call this beta, then this is also beta, because AOC is an isosceles triangle. Then COB is also an isosceles triangle. So if I call that P, that's also P. And we know that the sum of the interior angles of a triangle is 180 degrees. So therefore, this angle is 180 degrees minus 2 alpha. This angle is 180 degrees minus 2p, and this angle is 180 degrees minus 2 beta. So at angle A, therefore, is A plus B, angle B is alpha plus P, and angle C is beta plus P. Then at O, 180 degrees minus 2 alpha plus 180 degrees minus 2 beta, this is this, then plus 180 degrees minus 2p equals 1 revolution, so that's 360 degrees. Simplifying, we have 180 plus 180, 360, 360 plus 180, minus 2 times quantity alpha plus beta plus p equals 360. So we can cancel 360 and write 180 degrees is equal to 2 times quantity alpha plus beta plus p. Then we distribute. So 180 degrees equals 2 times quantity alpha plus beta plus 2 times p. So 2 times this angle plus 2 times this angle p here. And since alpha plus beta is A, so we have here, we conclude therefore that alpha plus beta from this equation, 180 degrees minus 2 times alpha equals 2 times quantity alpha plus beta. Therefore, alpha plus beta is 180 degrees minus 2p divided by 2. So 180 degrees minus 2p equals 2 times alpha plus beta. So that means alpha plus beta is half of this measure. So half of that measure. So this angle here from this equation, 2 times quantity alpha plus beta times 2 of this is equal to this central angle here, or alpha plus beta, this angle here which subtends arc BC, is only half the measure of the subtended arc. And from this relationship, 180 degrees minus 2 alpha would be this angle here. So that in general, if this is angle A, this is 2 times angle A. If this is angle B, this is 2 times angle B. And if this is angle C, then this angle is 2 times angle C. So that's the relationship. Since there are 5 thetas here, this theta, this is the central angle, that's why we have 2 theta here. So for one revolution, 5 times 2 theta equals 360 degrees. That's the relationship. Double A plus double B plus double C is double of quantity A plus B plus C, and A plus B plus C is 180. That's why it's 360 degrees. So here we have A plus B plus C equals 180 degrees. So that's one proof that the sum of the interior angles of a triangle is 180 degrees. And in this problem here, 5 times 2 theta is 360 degrees. So theta is equal to 36 degrees. So that's it for that problem. So for the next problem, show that the sum of the interior angles of a triangle is 180 degrees. So we have shown in the preceding slide that the sum of the interior angles of a triangle is really 180 degrees. Here is another proof. So first we extend A, that's angle B. We draw this horizontal line, then this angle and that angle, we call that transversal angle, and they are equal, remember, by principle. So this is angle A because this is AC and this line is parallel to AC. They have this common side, therefore this angle between AC and this side AB is the same as the angle between AB and this is AC because it is parallel to AC. This has the same slope as AC, so this is also angle A. If extended, this is also angle A, and that's also angle A, right? Then similarly, this angle is B. This angle here is B, and we'll show that this remaining angle is angle C. So if this is angle C, remember that that angle is the angle between AC and AC and BC. Sorry, AC and BC. And this line is parallel to AC and this is side BC. So that's why this is angle C. Another way to prove that that's angle C, we extend this line, and therefore this angle is the angle between BC, that's the extension of BC. This is parallel to AC, parallel to AC, so that's why this is angle C, which is equal to that. Therefore, A plus B plus C form a straight line, and straight line angle is 180 degrees. Next problem, show that the sum of the interior angles of any closed polygon is given by quantity n minus 2 times 180 degrees. What is the sum of the interior angles of a closed decagon? So let's have an example. So let's have a pentagon. If it is a quadrilateral, 4 sides, we can only draw one line, one diagonal, so that we can isolate 2 non-overlapping triangles. So again, if there are n sides, 4 sides, we can draw 4 minus 2 or 2 non-overlapping triangles. If there are 5 sides like this, then we can draw 3 non-overlapping triangles as shown, where 3 is 5 minus 2. Therefore, if there are n sides, then we can draw quantity n minus 2 non-overlapping triangles. And since the sum of the interior angles of a triangle is 180 degrees, then therefore the sum of interior angles of a closed polygon is number of non-overlapping triangles n minus 2, then times the sum of the interior angles of each triangle 180 degrees. So that's why that's the formula for the sum of the interior angles of a triangle. Then for a decagon, dodecagon, there are 12 sides. So sum of interior angles is quantity 12 minus 2 times 180 degrees, and that is 10 times 180 degrees, and that is 1800 degrees. Then Finally, show that chords from a point on a circle to the ends of the diameter of a circle are perpendicular to each other. Alternatively, the hypotenuse of a right triangle is the diameter of the circumscribing circle. So this is the right triangle. It is inscribed in this circle here, and since the hypotenuse is straight line, the angle here is 180. So if this is the center, because this is the diameter, that's the given, chords drawn to the ends of the diameter are perpendicular to each other. So if this is the diameter, then the center is here, the radius of the circle is RR. So that's the diameter, and the angle subtended at the center by this arc is a semicircle, so 180 degrees. So if that is 180 degrees, then this measure theta is half of 180 degrees from the previous principle that the peripheral angle is half of the measure of the subtended arc. So because that's 180 degrees, that's why this is 90 degrees. Or in a right triangle, the diameter is indeed the hypotenuse of the right triangle. So theta, this theta here is half of the subtended arc, half of the central angle rather, which is 180. So theta is 90 degrees. Then let's expand this. Sine of angle A is opposite A over hypotenuse 2r. Sine of angle B is opposite B. So A over sine angle A is 2r. Sine angle B is equal to small b over 2r. So B over sine angle B is equal to 2r. And finally, sine of angle C is equal to opposite C over 2r. And therefore, C over sine angle C equals 2r. So we form these equal ratios here. A over sine angle A equals B over sine angle A. Angle B equals C over sine angle C is equal to 2r, and that's the law of sines, or sine law. And since in this triangle, angle C is 90 degrees, so C over sine of 90 is equal to, so that's 90, that's also 90 degrees from any point on the circle to the ends of the diameter. The chords are perpendicular to each other, so C over sine angle C is 2r. Sine C is sine 90, and it is 1, so that's why C is equal to 2r, and 2r is the diameter of the circumscribing circle about this triangle here, and it is also the hypotenuse of the right triangle. So that's it for this video.